Hi, this is your host. There's this idea that if we don't save an endangered animal, it's not really going to affect us that much. But what if the animal we're talking about is actually quite important for our survival? What if it turns out that without them, we might not survive either? The biggest threat facing animals all over the world is the destruction of their habitats. As humans encroach into more wilderness areas, whether for farming, mining, or logging, animals lose their homes and their sources of food. And when they lose those two things, they're pretty much screwed. For example, the destruction of coastal wetlands has led to a 50% decline in the global population of the beautiful but very picky spoon-billed duck. That S because these ducks need both fresh water and salt water in their environment, and they can adjust their diet to eat different types of aquatic life. But habitat loss isn't the only thing that's causing populations to plummet. Climate change is also a huge factor. Many animals rely on seasonal cues like temperature and rainfall to tell them when to breed, when to migrate, and when to search for food. But with temperatures fluctuating all over the place, animals are getting the wrong signals and doing the wrong things at the wrong times. For instance, warmer temperatures have caused many birds to lay their eggs earlier in the year. And when their food sources haven't yet returned after winter, those baby birds end up starving. On top of habitat loss and climate change, some animals are also losing their lives to poachers. Whether they're killed for their fur, their body parts, or simply because they're in the way, poaching is taking a serious toll on many species. For example, in 2019, 27 tons of pangolin scales were seized by authorities in the Philippines, representing almost 30,000 dead pandas. But here's the thing. When we lose a species, we lose something irreplaceable. Once a species is gone, there's no coming back. We can't just bring them back by making a really good habitat and hoping they move in. By the time we figure out that habitat is empty and we want to put something back in there, it's too late. So we need to act before it gets to that point. And even though it might seem like saving a single animal will make that big of a difference, the opposite is actually true. Saving one animal can be the difference between its species surviving or going extinct. Let me explain. Every species has a minimum viable population, which is the smallest number of individuals needed to keep the population from shrinking and eventually disappearing. For some species, like the California condor, whose members often die from lead poisoning, the minimum viable population is as low as 80. For others, like the black rhino, which is poached for its horn, the number is around 200. And for still others, like the giant panda, whose babies have a notoriously hard time surviving, the minimum viable population is around 500. So if there are only 200 black rhinos left and we manage to save 10 of them from poachers, we've saved 5% of the entire population. And that's enough to prevent them from going extinct. Similarly, if we're able to cut down on the destruction of coastal wetlands, we can help ensure that the picky eater, the spoon-billed duck, doesn't end up extinct because of our changes to its habitat. Now, obviously, saving one animal won't always have that kind of massive impact. But by working together, every little bit we do helps. And while it might seem like one person as recycling or one person as donation to an environmental group, or one person as decision to buy sustainable palm oil isn't going to make a difference. When you add all those people up, that's when real change happens. So thank you for watching this video and learning about what you can do to help protect endangered animals. Even one person making a difference is a beautiful thing. If you like learning about ways that you can help animals, you can learn about ways that you can help the planet by checking out our episode on why you should care about climate change. Thanks for watching.